Hello, everybody, and welcome back for the second episode in this channel's relaunch. As many of you are aware, stock markets around the world today have a lot of volatility occurring, and there's also a lot of human volatility occurring in many parts of the world. I would like to turn to the UK again, to look at some of the stuff happening there. I did find a few more outlets of information yesterday on Telegram. I actually have 4 different Telegram channels, and this is the one I use to aggregate a lot of information. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into some of these posts here. So I came across a group that shared something from this group called the Youth Alliance. And part of what I want to look at on this channel is not just the videos of what's happening, but using Telegram and using sentiment analysis to try to understand the direction of things in the future. So let's go ahead and take a look here. This post says, as a group, we are aware we could be put in prison or even killed. We may never marry, we may never love, we may never experience our own families, and we may never see our families again. But for our nation, we won't think twice about defending and risking it all. Deus Vult. So I think this is a pretty good example of where young men stand these days. There's a lot of data that points to women becoming more liberal in Gen Z and men becoming significantly more conservative as all of this unfolds around the world. Now, generally speaking, women will follow whatever seems to be the power at the time, and they will not change sides until it appears that there's going to be a power struggle that leads to an overturning of power, and then women will generally snap and align to that ideology, that belief system, that way of life. It's how it continues to happen throughout all of history. I wouldn't expect it to be any different this time around. So let's go ahead and scroll through this. This is my saved messages. As I find stuff that's intriguing from many different channels, I just throw it into my saved messages and for later viewing on topics. We might see different topics as we come through here, but I do try to keep them grouped as much as possible around the same topics. So we see that this is the response to much of what's happening in the world. Someone shared this post, which I thought was interesting. It says, let me get this out of the way. There, as small as it goes. These mostly peaceful protests versus these mostly peaceful protests. I can't say some of the things I'd like to say on here because of censorship, but it is what it is. I'm sure you can use your imagination to fill in the blanks of what the truth is. Death of a substance abuser versus the deletion of 3 people who were doing nothing wrong. I think this is a very good picture of what to expect going forward. And when I say what to expect, as you see the stuff transpiring in that picture on the right more, you're going to see people from that group turn into the mostly peaceful protesters that you see in the left picture. That's how this works. In fact, it works too well. And if a simpleton like me can understand this, I can only imagine that the well-to-do PhDs of generational wealth understand this as well. Motivation. How do you motivate anybody to do anything? Well, you show them the value. And in many cases, the value can be fear, something you fear happening, or something that is, in fact, happening, and wanting to preserve your way of life, your morals, your ethics, your culture. And so how do you motivate people to take action? This is the interesting thing about what's happening, is it must be understood that this stuff will cause motivation from groups like the one you see here in the picture on the right. It will motivate action. Not saying that I condone it, I'm saying it will lead to that. So we have some videos here today that we'll go through. So this is from today, Birmingham news coverage of the quote-unquote mostly peaceful protests. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Community leaders have been speaking to the police as well because...
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Fuck India!
Right, I think, apologies for the language you're hearing, but a sense of the anger, I think you can hear there.
Yeah, Casey, I think
As I just realized my audio didn't re-engage. So yeah, you can see what's going on here in Birmingham. Not good stuff. Birmingham invaders are 1,000 strong. Anyone in Brum, get ready. Folks, this is what I'm talking about. This is going to lead to kinetic energy clashes. Whether that involves vehicles or other tools, handheld tools, this is going to lead to kinetic results. And I have to wonder if it is not, or if it is intentional. I'll go ahead and shrink the screen here. Here we go in Bradford. Again, this is stuff that I found from today. I think it is stuff happening today. No confirmation at this time. Bradford, peaceful patriot is arrested by the donut eaters. So folks, one thing I've noticed in a lot of these videos is that the instigators are not being detained. The people defending themselves are being detained. So at a certain point, the people who are detaining those defending themselves inevitably will become part of the other side just because of their actions. They will be seen as allied to the quote-unquote invaders. And I promise you, I know this from looking at history, these people will be considered to be enemies of the people at some point. That it always happens. Here again, so that list I read yesterday, it looks like we have an updated text to go along with it. It says, Britbongs, we've been asked to share that coordinated chaos is planned in the UK this Wednesday night at 2000 hours, that is 8 p.m. Participants of the mostly peaceful protests are asked to wear balaclavas and leave your phone wallet at home wearing all black bloc. Not only never goes out of style, but also limits identifiable information when police start pulling suspects behind enemy lines. Good, law-abiding people who respect and want to uphold the system should stay home and watch the BBC far away from these places. There you go. So there is some planned activity there. In case you're just listening, I'll read off the names. So in Aldershot, in Canterbury, in Chatham, sorry if I'm butchering these names, in Chelmsford, in Bedford, in Birmingham, Blackburn, Blackpool, Bolton, Brentford, Brighton, Bristol, Cheadle, Derby, Harrow, Hastings, Hull, Kent, Lincoln, Liverpool, Middlesbrough, Newcastle, North Finchley, Northampton, Nottingham, Oldham, Oxford, Peterborough, Portsmouth, Preston, Rotherham, Sheffield, Stoke, Southampton, Southend, Sunderland, Tamworth, Walthamstow, and Wigan. There's locations of planned activity at those areas. Can't read this one, but if you'd like to go ahead, if you're just listening, and take a look at your phone or your computer, whatever device you're on, tablet and whatnot, you'll see a message on here, warning, and a statement at the end. It says, "Stay safe, brothers. This is guerrilla blank now. Like I said, folks, all of the signs of exponential increase in destabilization happening. Next post up. This post says, mother sees an invader taking pictures of her children in Costco. She takes his phone and confirms he was indeed taking pictures of her child. This is why what's happening in England is happening now. It wasn't a one-off tragedy that sparked this reaction. It is the constant threat of danger to our children. It is the murders, the rapes, the gang assaults, humiliations, worry for our children, and lack of any recourse other than to take it. And that's exactly my point. I made this point yesterday in the video. People point to Archduke Ferdinand situations and say that was the event that set off World War One, and it just takes someone having another Archduke Ferdinand situation and things will erupt again. And that's not true. It's a culmination of a lot of dry, flammable material being stacked up. Once you have that occurring, and enough of that, it just takes a spark to set an inferno ablaze. And that's what we're seeing. And that's why I don't see this, stuff doesn't go back to a quote unquote normal. There is only pressing forward to the future in these cycles. Whether you want to call it the fourth turning, these 80-year cycles, strong men create easy times, easy times create hard, soft men create hard times create hard men. That cycle that continues again and again throughout history. You know, if you take 2024 and subtract 80 years, what's the date? If you take 1939 and subtract 80 years, what's the date? If you take 1861 and subtract 80 years, what's the date? You end up at these periods of time right before great eruptions happen every 80 years. The fourth turning, the cycles every 20 years a generation, and the notion of hard times creating hard men creating easy times creating soft men, weak men creating hard times, and again the cycle continues generationally. 20 years has kids, next generation has kids at 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, and so that's what we see. And there's no going back. Going back does not happen in history. There is only going forward. Once people adopt that notion, then they can realize what's going to happen in the future. And I'll leave it there. Here's a meme I came across that was interesting. I'm not going to read this, but if you want to, it's on your screen now. I think it's pretty spot on and pretty entertaining, and again points to why I don't think that any of this is happenstance. That it seems very evident to me that this is very planned and coordinated and intentional for this specific outcome, in order to get these people to start doing this stuff to these people. Let's see, this is a video from Petersboro. Certain religion gangs walk around the town center like they own it. I reckon it's going to be a long night, lads. Remember, the lone wolf dies, the pack survives. Act accordingly. This is a warning that I've had to people as well, is do not try to be Superman or Batman or some type of hero alone by yourself. There is a very strategic way to engage and respond to these kind of events. Do not try to be a hero. Be smart about how you conduct yourselves. Well, let's go ahead and take a listen to this video, see if there's any audio worth analyzing.
In a black wig, blacked out, pull up and splat.
Alright, well that had a song that was probably copyright, so I can't play that very long. Now, Birmingham, this was at 11:52 a.m. Thousands of armed Muslims, hopefully I don't get banned for that, have begun rioting and attacking locals of a certain race. Zero police presence. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You're not expecting me to run down there? Please do not expect me to run down there. EDL. Yeah. Get him in.
I'm not sure what's happening, but they all seem to be progressing with haste towards something or away from something. It seems to be more towards something, if I had to guess. You see a lot of cars pointed in the opposite direction, so it looks like there's a bunch of traffic trying to flee something and a bunch of people running towards something. I don't have any updates right now, but Birmingham is now on my list to keep track of what's unfolding there. Seems to be something unique compared to the other sites. Plymouth Patriots are in a standoff with the Red Scum. Let's go ahead and take a listen. I can't see. So it appears that we have police, we have officers facing both ways. I'm not sure if this is two different groups and the police are in the middle. That appears to be the case, but I can't see the signs, so I can't confirm if that is the case. So both Birmingham and Plymouth areas to watch for information. Let's see, 1,000 plus religious mob on streets of Birmingham, Monday the 5th, 2024. Certain Middle Eastern, I guess that doesn't clarify it either. Very violent Middle Eastern religion mob. Let's see, this is a quote from this video. I think this is what the cop is saying in the video. Quote, "You're being arrested for dressing like a dickhead and being from a dickhead area." Apologies for the language. I'm just trying to read the quote for what it is. I think I'll make it past the YouTube censorship on that one. It says the police are now our enemy. Let's go and take a listen.
You've had your chance to fucking talk. We'll give you your chance to talk. Now you fucking listen. Right, you're fucking smoking far too fucking much now. I shut your fucking mouth. I said, shut your fucking mouth.
Is it him?
You fucking open up again. I will not fucking let up.
And he's scary. He's not someone you want to be hitting back.
Shut the fuck up.
No.
You're being served for the 6 for 60.
What do you think, folks? Do you think the cops or the police? What do you think?
Dickhead in a dickhead area.
Let me know in the comments.
I am moving. You're speaking loud enough for me to hear it down the end of the road anyway. I will, I am. Just don't hit me. Don't hit me. I'll walk into the post. He's getting battered on the corner. He's here.
Things are heating up big time in the UK. Here we see the text that was with this post said that it was an immigration facility that was burning down. I have no confirmation on that. That is just what the text said. We'll skip the market stuff for now. I think that'll be another video for later. Let's see, footage from yesterday. Certain violent religion celebrate after dispersing a certain race protest that is the opposite of them. Let's go ahead and take a listen. Very interesting stuff. So here's a map of the towns and cities where native English are rising up against being replaced by immigrants. This will only spread across the country within a week. This, under international law, deems a civil war. The UK government have been caught using migrants as hired mercs assisted by the UK police on national live TV for the normies to see. So here's that map in case you are interested. All the locations that I've had incidents so far. I will keep an eye out for further maps to see if we can find more details as more events occur. This was an interesting video comparing the two instances from the Summer of Love in 2021 and 2020 and the events occurring now and the stark difference between the two. And I can't play the audio because I'm sure this is something that they would look to take down because of the comparison. But if you want to, I'm sure you could look for this video and find the contrast here. Essentially, in the video on the left, they're saying that the minorities have every right to be upset and take action. And over here on the right, they're saying it's completely it's unethical and uncalled for response to what's going on. So you can see the gaslighting occurring. More stock market stuff. That might be the end of what's going on. Here's some stuff from the past few days. This was from Friday. Again, more scenes of stuff that occurred over in the UK. Car flipped and on fire. Police station on fire. You've seen some of these videos yesterday. That's all the updates I have for the UK. What's going on in the UK right now. There is also stuff happening in Ireland. I'm not getting as much footage on it, but there certainly is stuff happening, and I would expect that to evolve into something similar that's happening in the UK, if for no other reason than the proximity, but also the same stuff is happening there. With that, folks, that's all I have for this one. Hopefully this has been useful to you. As the show continues to progress, I would like to offer potential ideas for risk mitigation, and cover some psychological tips and tricks, and potentially other things that I can't get into at this point, but more to come. A lot of exciting things that I'd like to lead people through. That's all I have for now. Until next time, take care.